And we are live on the Fanboy Modeling School. The Fanboy Modeling School. Fanboy Modeling School. Hello and welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis, now in HD, and I'm here with my co-host
Steve, real name, no gimmicks, also in HD, but a little blurry, a little tired. Work drains a man of his willingness to live and fills you with deep regret instead.
This is why I have always been against work. I've always been against the days of hard work. It's just not worth it.
It's not, man. It's modern day slavery, but comparatively, there's no slave that can just say, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. I'm out of here.
You know what? You know why they allow that to happen? Because they know that slave is just going to end up in the slave pool just working somewhere else. They just rotate slave jobs. There's no getting out of the hood, man. That's a pipe dream.
Sir, this is not even close to indentured servitude. I'm sorry. If we went back in time and talked to an ancestor, we're like, wait, user can leave whenever you want.
No, they were living the dream. No,
they were living the dream. Goddamn, living that.
How are you, my friend? Other than the exhaustion you just admitted to.
I'm good. I wanted to make sure that I stay clear-headed for at least the first 30 minutes of the show, because any day where I don't know if you know this, right? I have an hour and 10-minute drive to work. So in actuality, that's with traffic. It really takes me just under 59 minutes on a good day, right? So in that time, I listen to podcasts, right? I watch things on YouTube.
I assume they're podcasts by the Fat Mantis.
Yes, everything I listen to is you. Yeah. Okay. You are my zealot in all things.
Okay.
So, I'm farming shit to talk about, to argue about all types of stuff. And I got to tell you, Mantis, I am at my wit's end with divisive, insane, low IQ conversational points on these internet streets, man. I'm almost at my complete E on the tank when it comes to male and female relations, right? I'm most certainly losing any capacity for compassion for activist groups or for right-wing psychopaths, because I'm almost convinced that that's the real psyop, that the aliens are just watching us and like, yo, you just add another thing in Sims for no reason? You're like, put a wall right there, son. Put a wall right there. Let's watch this stupid automaton walk to the wall. That's the psyop.
No, that's not the psyop.
It's the psyop, motherfucker. It's the psyop.
Libtardation of society is the psyop. So here's the thing. I literally was low energy because of work before this, and farming last minute ideas for this podcast, like stories we could interject. I put on a few YouTubes, and I accidentally put on everybody's least favorite YouTuber, who always has some sort of hot take on things. Right. I am, of course, talking about YouTuber X.
Right.
And she had a video that woke my ass up and made me so hostile and so angry, I wanted to just rip the sink out of my wall in my bathroom and toss it onto a dog.
Anyone's dog? A random dog?
Anybody's dog, as long as the dog is dead.
All right, so we're going to get into that.
My God. I got so angry. I was like, as you know, I've already gotten in trouble. I found out what I got in trouble for, but for those who don't know, I got...
Wait. This is the third topic for tonight, man, so you got to roll it out correctly.
No, we'll talk it out. We'll save it.
Mantis has been canceled. Finally, someone has decided to stop the madness, right? They said that's enough out of this motherfucker.
Yeah, I got silenced. I got taken out of the town square. My voice... was taken from me. Shaolin says, Anna Kasparian, you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Absolutely, man.
100%, man. 100%.
Rebeck says, fangirls for fanboys, hashtag love it.
Yeah.
Calls Peter. Yeah, Pete, everyone's against me right now, Bex. Peter's already against me. You know, Zuckerberg's against me.
Oh,
Musk is against me.
We got to talk about Threads.
We are definitely talking about Threads because that's going to have a lot to do with my canceling.
Did you post about Threads?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk. I thought it was the third thing.
Well, let's start there. You moron. Let's go.
Okay, so I am enraged. The Mantis is utterly enraged. I got canceled on Twitter. Like, actually,
wait, you got to roll that out properly. The place where cancellation is not supposed to exist, where in no way, shape, or form is your free speech inhibited by a tyrannical system. Go ahead, Naga.
Yes, and so I discovered. My sister pointed out to me. She said she sent me a screenshot. That's just how she told me. She texted me a screenshot of my account, and it says this account has been suspended. And I was like, what? So yes, I look at it. Sure enough, it's not a joke. I was suspended from Twitter. Unlike YouTube or any of these other things, Instagram does it too. They tell you why. So I remember that I made a pretty misguided YouTube video when I started out.
On YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube. And wasn't YouTube. YouTube didn't have a problem with it. Instagram did. Because I took the cover and the topic, I'll tell you guys right now. The topic was the top 10 comic book villains of World War II, except I didn't use that word. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Red Skull. I'm talking about Baron Zemo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And so, but however, I used the word, and the word was banned on Instagram. I did not know that.
The other N word.
Yes, that's the other N word. And so I used that word on the cover, like on the art,
right,
on the thing, and that got me in trouble. I got in real trouble with Instagram. This was years ago.
Okay.
And so. Yeah. Shaolin says, I remember that video. Yeah, so apparently that pissed some people off. I dig that. I understand that. Or the times I get in trouble with YouTube, YouTube sends me an email and explains what I did. Yo, Twitter, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I have to guess what I did. And then they're like, do you want to say we were wrong? And I was like, I do. And I figured if I followed this, they would then tell me what I did, and they don't. You have to guess what you did. You have to fucking guess what you did.
So like when you're dealing with a woman.
Yes, exactly. So I'm in trouble. I'm in hot water. I have to guess what I did. I was like, I don't know what I did, but you're going to tell me what I did so I can tell you why you're wrong. I literally wrote that.
You're dealing with a woman. Okay, good.
I submit it. 5 minutes later, we looked at your proposal. You have been denied. Suspension remains. Like, at least you email for me for that, you motherfucker. Oh God! So there's a bunch of things I could have been canceled for, you know.
Oh, so you actually don't know?
I actually don't know, and so I have some theories, and I'll run them by everyone in the chat right now.
Okay, let's get it, motherfucker.
So I feel like if I share posts of people, but they're not getting canceled or suspended, then it can't be the cause, right?
I would say so. That stands the test.
So recently, the ACLU.
Mm-hmm.
Said that America violated the rights.
Right. Yeah, I heard about this.
Of a trans person who had R-worded a mother, her children, and then R-worded the mother after he had already taken her life. And in prison, waiting on death row, that's when that person decides they are now a woman.
Can I ask what the status of the children is? And I want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Well, killed. They were killed. They were killed too.
The entire family.
Yeah, everyone's been extinguished, and so the ACLU says America violated that person's rights who did that horrible crime because they didn't give them gender affirming care before they were executed. And so I'm very passionate about this story, and so I make comments. I make these comments.
Now, this person, he assaulted the entire family sexually.
Yes.
Small children included.
Yes.
Okay, I just want, because before I jump out the window, I always want to make sure that I'm hearing you correctly, right? So this man, a man, assaulted a mother and her children.
Yeah.
This group is now suing the United States of America, which means they're suing us.
They're just saying, they're stating that they're like, you have broken international whatever, you know, for doing this, for not giving him surgery before he went. That we should have paid for, right? And so I'm passionate about this thing, and so I, often in these threads, I would leave comments, and one of the things people speculate is the problem is that I would make comments like you had just made. When people would say she, I would be like, that's a dude, and I would put up the Austin Power gif of him being like, it's a man, baby. And so. Some people think that's the reason.
Who are these people?
Just other people on Twitter. They're like, because basically what they say is that ever since Elon, and I don't know if this is true, ever since Elon gave the reins to that other woman who's a lefty, misgendering is now a violation at this point.
Okay.
Could be that.
Is it misgendering if they were not gendered correctly before, like?
But that's one of my great arguments. But they would say, no, we have to not only psychically know what gender they're trying to express to us, but we have to hit it on the nail or we get in trouble.
All right, this one isn't that sexy. But I do want to comment on the situation that you're talking about. This is absolutely horrible. And in no way, shape, or form do I have any empathy, sympathy, or any fucks to give. If you looked upon my field where all my fucks are grown, you will find that it is barren when it comes to this topic. That is not an original quote. I love that guy.
That is a great quote. That is.
But yeah, I don't give a fuck about that person and what their last moments were like after such a heinous crime, right? What I do care about is, were you stupid enough or brave enough to post about threads on Twitter? Did you do it?
I did do it. I did do that. You think that's the real reason?
That's why you really got kicked. Why you really got freaking kicked. There's no way there's any other reason, man. You could have posted a picture of an alligator eating a dog while dancing on Nelson Mandela's grave. They wouldn't have kicked you for that, bro. That's crazy. That's craziness, man. So you're suspended, unable to communicate with the rest of humanity. Spent how many hours without being able to tweet?
So I discovered last night. So it's probably hitting 24 at this point.
How you feeling?
Horrible. But I'll tell you, I joined Threads. I joined the Threads out of spite. Because you know what's funny? I was originally a Threads hater. I was like, this is ghetto. Because it's Zuckerberg, right?
Right.
And so I was like, well, he can't possibly make a good product. And however, now I have nowhere else to go. So it's like the Eminem line. And if I'm stuck cheating, then I'm stuck with you. Right. So basically, I'm stuck with Threads, and so I joined it. And I've been threading, or what, I don't even know what the word for it is. But I'm threading, and it's been all right.
So you're the only person who's I have like 3,000 some odd followers, but you're the only one that's interacted with my tweets. I mean, my threads, my thriddles. My threads. Like, what's your experience like this? Where I do like that it's in dark mode right out the gate.
Right. You know what it is? I'm seeing so much more content from my friend, like actual people I know. Right. And so I would say that I like this because Twitter's just filled with strangers' comments. Like, Twitter forces you to see the strangers' comments because they want you to get triggered.
Right.
They want you to be they're like, who's the opposite of Steve? And then they show you their tweets.
It's you.
And then you're like, man, is that fucker? Right? And so, however, I see a bunch of people who I like and respect, and I'm enjoying that. I had a great conversation with Luna from Spoon the other day, today on Threads about people who take shits in Walgreens, aisles. So it was great, man.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right. So fuck Twitter, man. You're off there. Well, go ahead.
Look at what Beck says. She says, I'm so green. What the fuck is this Threads you speak of?
So Bex, what up, Bex? By the way, so Instagram has its own version of Twitter now, an actual Instagram Meta program called Threads, where you can actually have a more interactive experience. So what does that mean for you, Bex? Now you can actually really deep dive into some of these comments, because when you look at comments on IG, sometimes, let's be real, the interface on the phone, you're like, oh, I didn't mean to like that. I was just trying to scroll on
Right. My giant fingers, my fat ass fingers are like, what the fuck, man?
So that's what's going on. I'm actually Bex right now, and I gotta say this: the video resolution on the Threads. I'm looking at Kiki Palmer, that bum bitch.
Oh, not a fan?
No, I have no problem with Kiki. I just feel like jumping on the hate train right now. Yeah, I'm trying to monetize this shit, man. So I gotta say provocative shit. If I'm looking at, I think she released a diss track to her husband, her baby daddy, by the way. But I'm looking at one of her videos she just posted, and the quality is amazing. So, are you following me, Mantis? Are we friends on Threads yet? Bex, I'm already following you. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Oh, there you are. I see your kick link.
Kick link.
And so I'm putting up my link too.
I'm supposed to be paying Bex to go through and accept all the my friend requests on here. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
You're paying her?
Well, she wants me to pay her.
I'm not gonna hate. I'm not gonna hate. You know, I'm not gonna knock another person's hustle, but you're paying her candy, right?
A very complicated crypto Bitcoin.
Oh, I love it. Some crypto. Everyone has their own crypto now. That's how easy it comes upon. They're like, oh, have you tried Mantis Coin yet? I'm going to pay everyone in Mantis Coin.
Yo, so Shaolin says Kiki was out of pocket. Her man was only wrong with how he addressed it. Absolutely. So, you got to make your outside voice your inside voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you responding like a woman? But
yes.
You know
that's the problem. The making it public like that was the problem. She should have come home and he has a talking to her. Yeah, don't put this shit out on the internet, because that's what a woman does. No offense, girls.
Oh, real quick. No, you know what? No, I'll leave this for my Discord, because I just don't want to bring the smoke. Let's get to the Anna thing right now. Anna from Young Turk,
KASPARIAN. Yes.
I don't know. Is she a butterface? I think not. I think Anna's a nice looking lady. She's been doing her thing on Young Turks for quite some time. They have been the leading home of left-leaning leftist ideology and reporting, taking the game to another level in regards to news reporting and that type of content creation on YouTube. So shout out to them for doing that. I may not agree with a person's position, but I got to respect the people who came first, that have been doing this for the longest, monetized, and still managed to do it. She is back in the grinder, right? Yet again, with the community that shall not be named, because I got a regular job, and we see,
and they own the internet. Apparently,
they do own the internet. So did you get the link I sent you of her tweet? Because
yes, and I'm going to show it in just 1 second.
Okay.
I just got to throw up this link on my new favorite app, Threads.
See, that's how quick he would have kicked your ass off the ark too.
Oh yeah. You know how you know what it is? I gotta say this. It is very hard being a belligerent, stubborn man who sticks to his guns.
Oh yeah.
So now, I used to be an Elon Musk fan. Now I have to hate him because he suspended me. I'm like, I hope he gets lost on his way to Mars.
Almost made a Titan joke there. I was like, I hope he makes a capsule to go to Mars, but then I realized how poor taste that was. Actually, did you hear about a lot of this controversy going on? Some affluent streamers were, obviously reporting on the Titan thing, and people in their chats basically celebrating the fact that billionaires had died in very cold shit. Very cold.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely so cold. It's crazy the world we live in right now. We live in a really messed up world. Because even I wouldn't make such jokes, and I'm an animal.
Whenever we do Fanboy, and I did Zenful or Request the night before, it's so weird for me to be talking without their music in the background. I'm like, why can't I hear the music? But actually, that's not I don't want you to put any lo-fi or anything on.
Okay. I won't. Yeah, so I'll share the screen.
So we want you guys to read the tweet. And you, oh wait, can you even click on it? Like,
No, I can't. I'm allowed to look around like a ghost, but they keep putting a memo on the bottom like, you're banned. You can't interact. You can't answer your mail. It's funny. I'm getting mail and it's showing me like, the blue number is rising, but I can't answer it.
What do you mean the blue number is rising?
You know when they give you a little notification?
Oh, gotcha.
Like you're like, oh, you're getting direct messages, and I'm like, well, I can't answer it, so fuck you.
It's so crazy. Is this like the third or fourth time you've been kicked from Twitter?
Honestly, I feel like it's a badge of honor. I feel like people would play it too safe if you have me banned from something.
All right, so this is Anna Kasparian's tweets, man, and we'll get into what she's tweeted before. She's taken umbrage with people referring to her as a birthing person or a cisgender woman, and in fact, Bex, you're the only woman here. I don't know what your thoughts on being referred to as a cis woman or a birthing person. So you let me know in the comments there. But this is what she said. This is all what she said. This is it. The civil rights movement did not use the same strategies as the trans movement. They didn't barricade speakers they disagreed with in a classroom for 3 hours. They persuaded through nonviolence and showing America their humanity. Okay,
right. Here we go.
Let me read it again. The civil rights movement did not use the same strategies as the trans movement. They didn't barricade speakers they disagreed with in a classroom for 3 hours. They persuaded through nonviolence and showing America their humanity. So if I just jump to that first part, during the civil rights movement, if a group of black people had attempted to barricade anyone, anywhere, the guns would have come out and people would have got shot. Like 100%.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. 1000%, man.
So what's your take on this, man? Because she's facing a lot of backlash. A lot of people think that the Young Turks are going through their right-wing grifter arc, where now they're trying to make more money by giving into the right-wing grift.
I actually don't, because I've seen the hate that they spill about her, and that it's definitely not a grift. She is definitely feeling the growing pains that I felt a while ago. So I originally left the left because of racial shit. It wasn't gender ideology. It was before gender ideology came around. But I couldn't help but notice that all the lefties and the Democrats and people who are like proud Democrats, they were condescendingly allies. Meaning, like, they loved lowered expectations. They assume because my father went to prison, he must be the black one of my parents. They assume that I must not be educated. They assume I must have some violent history because I'm, being partially black. They would condescend me over and over again, and I just got kind of fed up with it. And I noticed that if I was hanging out down in Virginia, with like good old boys, people quote unquote good old boys, guys who hunt. Right. They were never like that. They never fucking gave a shit about your race.
Okay.
And so instead of being like, lefties are assholes, man. And so I went through this arc. Where I was like, the more and more identity politics the left went around, the more I was being left behind. I was like, I can't agree with this.
Right.
And so and it's happening to her because race isn't her issue. Gender is her issue. And now she's starting to realize that she's getting condescended to. Right. As a woman, being called a birthing person, that is so utterly offensive. And I find it offensive just because I am a son of a woman.
Right.
I am the brother to a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love women in my life, and so therefore I am hurt by them when they are condescended to.
No, I understand 100% what you're saying, but I think that we got to be pragmatic about this, and we just got to let words be what the words are. So taking this at face value, it's a great comparison in two different movements that always get lumped together. People always want to reference the civil rights movement when talking about these other issues in regards to other communities. But it's just this one thing I want you to hone in on, folks. Just this one part. They didn't barricade speakers they disagreed with in the classroom for 3 hours. Let's talk about actual violence, not the promise of violence, the threat of violence, words of violence, microaggressions. Let's talk about what would have happened to a bunch of black people in the civil rights era if they had attempted to barricade anyone anywhere. There would have been actual violence and actual death that day, right? People would have been bludgeoned. They would have been beaten And I just cannot stand the contrast between these two things. So I was really happy that Anna had drawn this out. But in and itself, there's nothing controversial about the statement because there are two entirely different approaches to the civil rights movement and the LGBTQ plus, etc. movement, right? Even on the social level, on the activist level, obviously there are the extremely obvious things, like there was no social media platform back then. Everything was grassroots. Everything was built up locally in a community, and it was always under the threat of pain of death, right?
Right.
What you were a part of could be the end of you, but the cause you were contributing to was greater than yourself, right? What I see now a lot of times from some people are a bunch of clout chasers, right? I see clout chasers running amok and running anywhere. And you know why I feel bad for Anna is I don't think she's grifting at all, because she has really been at the front lines, at least socially on the internet, in regards to some of these topics for quite some time. Is that people who are on the left are starting to see, hey man, there are some fights politically. Now this might blow your fucking mind, Mantis, that you just cannot win when you live in a democracy. Right? There's some fights you just can't fucking win. And when it comes to getting 9 victories and then you go after the 10th and people told you this is going to be the one that's going to crumble, then you start to lose social clout. So I would challenge anyone here. To go look, right? And tell me that the progressive movement had not made amazing inroads, progress. And then when they started to come up against the wall where people were like, this is where it stops, these issues, and you know exactly what issues I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say it, 2 critical issues, like conservatives were getting their ass kicked left and right in regards to anti-trans bans and stuff like that. Like they were getting, but then it got to those 2 issues where it hit people, one at home, and then it hit people in a different place in regards to sports. And they overestimated or underestimated their social media influence and how that translated to the real world.
And so I can understand why, because here's you probably heard the saying before when people say you're not the rebellion, you're the empire, making a Star Wars reference, right? And so the blacks of the civil rights era stayed the rebellion up until the bitter end. When we were talking about under pain of death, literally even after they got their rights, that threat was still on the table. Some could argue up until this day. But right now we have these supposed oppressed people pretending to be a rebellion being backed by corporations.
Right.
The woman she's talking about, Riley Gaines, when she spoke about what it was like to have her victory taken away from her for Leah Thomas or whatever, when she got out in the hallway,
I know nothing of the situation. What's the bet? Oh, that's that chick.
She's an athlete. What it was is they started there were a bunch of trans people waiting for her in the hallway at the college, and she had to run for it, and she ran down the halls with some cops, and they put her in a room, and they said barricade their door, and she barricaded it, and the cops had to leave. They tried to lure the trans people away. The trans people were destroying the door, trying to bang down the door.
Wow.
For 3 hours, and they didn't get in trouble at all. And I'm saying you're right. In civil rights, that would never freaking happen.
Bro, you know me, man. You understand where I'm coming from, right? I really try my best, right? I really try my best. A lot of people want to paint me in corners that I'm not. So let me just set the fucking record straight. I am not a red pillar, right? I'm definitely not a conservative, and I'm most certainly not a liberal, right? What I am is a person that tries to look at things in a holistic way and see the entire picture.
Right.
And in looking at the entire picture, I can be honest about both sides and my side. It's called self-appraisal, right? I look at systems and I go, good, bad, historically bad, hypocrite. And then I make a decision based off of the data. Not the data that I found on Facebook, but through genuine research. That's why I'm always so cranky by the time I get to work. I was telling Beck the other day, like in between reading papers and thesis and watching lectures, not YouTube videos, folks. I'm talking about actual fucking lectures on topics. By the time I'm done driving, I'm a frothing maniac, right? And
all of my knowledge comes from just watching YouTubers. Just YouTubers pissed off at stuff, and they're like, "What's with a black mermaid? Damn it!" That's where I get my education from.
But it's crazy. It's entirely nuts, man. So they're going through an arc. I did have another video queued up for us, but I felt like we'd be like teetering on giving them exactly what they wanted. Where what a trans contributor on the Young Turks has publicly denounced and separated themselves from the Young Turks, and is basically going at Anna and I forget the guy's name who's the owner proprietor of that channel.
Right.
Excuse me. And the entire video is nothing but anecdotal conjecture, like making claims like this happened, that happened, and I'm like, well, where's the evidence, bro? Person, human being, mammal. Where is the evidence?
Where is the evidence? Yeah, that's anecdotal stuff. I zone out anecdotal stuff.
Right.
And I find it's particularly on Twitter, there was a lot of anecdotal nonsense.
This is anti-Twitter art.
Oh, anti-Twitter all day long. Twitter can suck me off. But by the way, Beck says, I've been waiting for someone to call me cis birthing person to my face so I can cause a ruckus, but nothing fun ever happens to me though. Welcome in Laney. Welcome in Rogue Radio. Welcome in Pony. My man,
Laney. Pony.
My man Pony says they had to call in the National Guard when 9 black people tried to go to public high school here in Little Rock in the 50s. This woman doesn't know. Yes, exactly. And that's the thing. And what it is it's the opposite now. When we're dealing with that group of people, the establishment looks at teachers and says, no, you're going to accommodate them in every way. And here's what I'm saying. I'm not bitter that you're getting accommodated. Before this issue started touching, like you said, the two things, children and sports, I was like, whatever, it's all gravy. It's all great. I didn't care. You see all these people making YouTube videos. I can't believe someone cares enough to make a YouTube video about this. But as soon as it's only recent, and that's what everyone's starting to push back on.
Right.
As soon as it was dealing with children, and as soon as it was dealing with the athletes, they're taking women's achievements away, then I'm like, okay, enough is enough.
Well, here's the thing, man, and I'm not so crazy as to not admit that there weren't people who weren't pushing back on the trans movement from the gate, right? Obviously, you would think about the most obvious, theologians, right, staunchly right conservatives, moralists, and stuff like that. They would obviously do that. And real quick, before anyone gets upset, that's what they're supposed to do if they have that worldview, right? If you're someone that's like a fundamentalist or a traditionalist, you're going to push back on it. It's how you push back on it, though, which will decide if you are correct in the eyes of history. But a lot of people did stand up when it came to the issue, or took notice when it came to the issues of women's sports. Now, there are 2 ways to look at this, right? Or I think there are at least 3 ways to look at it. The people who are in objection to the sports topic, right? Do they actually care about women athletes? Like, do they care about their careers, the longevity of their careers? Maybe you can't trust everyone from an external source reporting on it. But can we trust the women who are athletes who are expressing concern? Can we believe the young high school ladies, saying,
right.
You know what I'm talking about? Issues in the locker room, issues with competition. And then we get to the fucking pseudoscience. If I have to hear one more person say that the hormones don't impact you, and it removes the edge, I'm like, yeah, that's only if you've been doing them since the age of like 4.
Right.
But if you're like a 25-year-old person
deciding to suddenly take hormones, it's going to take a lot of those to suppress all the muscle and bone mass you have already, right?
But it's that, right? And I had said this to a female friend who I will not put on blast for this. I was like, I will not stand up for women's issues in this regard because I have not been invited to this conversation. In fact, I've been told to stay out of women's business multiple times. But I warn you that this Trojan horse that is sneaking up to your gate, right, saying its way into the conversation, hey, girl, hey, is going to come back and bite you in the ass. And here it is.
Here's why it doesn't make sense to stay out of women's issues. Here's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any... This is insane when people say this, and I want to just rip apart this argument all the time. And so I get this particularly when people are about abortion. They're like, I don't want to hear a man chime in about abortion. Right? And so I'm saying, so does that mean someone has to have firsthand direct knowledge to be able to speak about anything?
Or experience. I think you mean
do I need to be a bird to talk about birds' flight patterns? Do I fucking need to be a
Yes.
homeless person to decide what the city should do about homelessness? Should
Yes.
I have to be a tax evader to decide what happens to other tax evaders? It doesn't make any fucking sense. No subject is like that at all. Hey, you have to be a gunshot victim to decide what happens to firearms? No, we live in a society where shit happens and we all together, it's what we call democracy, decide. Doesn't matter if you're educated on it. Doesn't matter if you've experienced it. We all have a say because it affects society as a whole.
You're a hate monger. Which is the response. Which is the response, right? So you go, you have like an articulate, even like eloquent, like response to the conversation, and it's like you're a hate monger. You're this phobic. You're that phobic. And
Oh yeah,
like,
you're an hysterophobe.
Yeah.
That's the perfect. That is the perfect rip somebody apart shit. I love Shaolin said Mantis is cooking tonight.
cooking.
I'm
So
scared right now. Me imagining Mantis as a bird. Yeah, I'd have to be a fucking bird to decide what we're gonna do about the bird problem in New York.
Is there a bird problem in New York?
Oh, pigeons and shit.
Oh, here you go. Wanting to commit genocide on the fucking pigeons. They ain't done shit to you.
It's just it's totally insane, and so we have to let people. We need to let everyone have a say. And what I'm saying is, my say isn't greater than anyone else, but that's what a democracy is. You try to educate yourself the best you can, and we all got to vote.
But what? Like, let's be clear. What we're talking about now, what we're discussing, if you look at the screen, Mantis, we're discussing a tweet, right? And here is the problem with augmented reality, right? Fictional shit. Like fictional fucking characters.
Okay.
So I really do believe that people have become so immersed in the world of social media that they can't even understand that they're not impacting policy, right? And shout out to Destiny for making an extremely well articulated point in regards to this. They have traded, and when he was saying he's talking about leftist activists and leftist ideologues. Like, they've traded their position at the table where they can make actual change to have a better position at the table of social media influence, right? And that's all this is, man. On a day-to-day basis, that's why I call them clout chasers, man. All it is on a day-to-day basis is how many likes did I get in my tweet on my proposed, right? What I'm saying I'm doing for this people group versus what I'm actually doing. And that's where this conversation with the Young Turk starts. It actually starts with them being critical of some LGBTQ plus activists and how their poor style of activism is costing the movement as a whole, to which these inarticulate fucks responded, oh, so you're going to blame us for our own oppression? No, you idiots. You don't think that Martin Luther King had to pick and choose his battles? In fact, did you know he didn't march across the bridge at Selma the first time they thought to do it?
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you know?
Yeah. You do have to pick it. Absolutely, you have to pick and choose your battles. That's absolutely true. I don't know. It's crazy, and so they are feeling the crunch. I don't think it's a grift. A lot of people are saying, like you said, there's a grift where a bunch of these lefties are going to shift to the right. There's no way the Young Turks could ever pull off turning right all of a sudden.
They couldn't do it.
They couldn't because their people, the most rabid leftists are their people, and that's cool. That's their fan base, but that's what they've created so far, and they're too far left to ever go right. I think what this woman is tweeting is a genuine feeling about her body, womanhood, and what is happening in society.
No, this is a tweet about the civil rights movement, but she did tweet about her body and not wanting to be referred to as a cis woman or a birthing person, which, in response to a group that will literally have you flogged, well, not literally, but socially have you flogged for not, for misgendering a person, you would think there would be a level of, acceptance or grace in regards to this. But this is the pendulum swinging back right. Remember, we talked about this, man, in the inception of Fanboy, and I told you this. I'm like, the pendulum is on the left now, and it's cut off the heads of many people on its way to the left who they said were Nazis, racist, transphobics, anything that you can think of. People were canceled. They tried to fucking cancel the Goya guy, for God's sakes. As the pendulum swung left, it severed heads, right? So now that it's swinging back right, you get the Annas, right? Where I don't think there's any real political agenda behind the statement other than saying, whoa, this might be this monster I fed This thing I helped create might be breaking out of the lab now and be beyond my control. And it doesn't seem to observe the very common thoughts of logic. Like, you cannot allow something like this to happen. Fucking Frankenstein got free, and the first thing he did was kill the doctor's wife, right? When you create a monster, you can't really be surprised when it does illogical things, man.
Yeah, and so that is the problem, and it's interesting that when one political party, because it is a pendulum, it absolutely is. When one political party is strong enough where they control everything, it becomes a situation where you cannot deviate from what the standard of that party is, and if you do, your own people are going to turn on you. Right. And then meanwhile, the other side, when they're weak, they seem to be really good comedians and they make jokes about shit and they're lighthearted. And then, like, because what I am talking about right now is when George Bush and his cronies controlled everything, and Republicans, there was like a definition of what a Republican was, right? There's only one way to do it. Meanwhile, the Democrats created the Daily Show, and we're ripping it up with Jon Stewart, and we've got the Colbert Report, and a bunch of funny comedians and funny thought processes happening. And the pendulum is now the opposite way. Now that the lefties are in charge, they are the least funny humans that ever fucking existed. It's like, I can't even believe that they invented the Daily Show, because they are extremely unfunny nowadays.
Bro, well, under the threat of quote-unquote imperialism and stuff like that, that's where you see a lot of creativity boom, right? It's the anti-culture movement.
Right.
But here's the problem. No one ever expected a bunch of stuffy conservatives to start being funny. Look, no matter what you say, man, you agree with him or you don't agree with him, but if you're a fan of the art of trolling, if you haven't seen Matt Walsh's What is a Woman, that is the longest troll I've ever seen the entire time.
It is, and it's the funniest part about it is that he is a very conservative, like, dad, middle-aged dad with a beard who seems really serious, and he's trolling you. He's absolutely trolling you. Or if you've seen the Babylon Bee, I love the Babylon Bee.
Right, yeah,
they're hysterical. Like that video when they're like, "How do you know if your barista is a secret conservative?"
Right.
they're like they have easy pronounced names like Rob or George. Like, they only have one rainbow pin, like doing the bare minimum for Pride Month. That's hysterical. Or Alex Sign 99. I know he's a harasser. He harassed AOC, but he's funny.
He's like on the borderline of getting smacked, which I almost did today at work to a kid that was like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about." I'm like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?"
Like, someone you work with?
No, that's when I work with a customer, and I was like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro." But no, so for instance, like Steven Crowder, have you ever seen the polite racist video?
No.
Oh, it's hysterical, and I felt ashamed laughing at it, but I'm like, this truly is what the polite racist would be like. But it's to the point where these things happen, man. And I just wanted to jump back to your original point. No, I don't think they're going through their conservative grift arc. Could it happen? Yeah, they could make an attempt for it. What I think is more likely happening is that they're looking at it objectively and they're saying, "Hey, man, this cannot continue down the path that it's going." But this tends to happen with political movements when they get an upswing, right? We're winning so much, we think we can take it all the way to the box. We'll see what happens. But I do want to.
They're going to eat their own, and they're some of their best. Like, I think Anna Kasparian is an amazing journalist. Well, not journalist because she's a propagandist, but I think her content. She's a great content creator, and obviously she would have died. She would have died on the cross for these people, and now they're just turning on her.
I just want to throw something very controversial but very sexy out there. So in the aftermath of the affirmative action ruling, in regards to college applications, just think about what I said about political ideologies, social movements, that pendulum swinging left. Maybe you want to ask yourself how that happened. Why was affirmative action so easily struck down? What could have... Don't answer it. Definitely get us kicked off of YouTube. But you got to ask yourself, what led us to the place that we're at right now? Why would those justices be so easily put in there? What was the response to all this leftist ideology? While we're fucking screaming and marching about this, motherfuckers are secretly building this over here. You want to ask yourself those questions.
playing chess, not checkers. AOC is playing checkers right now. And this, I've said this a million times, and once again, I'm not a supporter of this person. I don't vote for this person. But like a certain president who may have been number 45, everyone loves to say this man is stupid. This man has proven the opposite. Despite the things he says, he seems to dodge every bullet, everything that comes his way. He's just dodging around. He's playing crazy like chess, where he's just like, "You're right. You can have what you want as long as I get my justice." And look what his justices have done.
Yeah, he did accomplish what he said to his base, right? His QAnon, maybe his Christian believing and not far right, but right leaning base. And yeah, so we got Anna here. So I mean, we have more ladies in the chat right now. Hopefully they're still here. We already asked Bex this question. Another thing Anna got in trouble for, and folks, I want you to know she is in trouble with her own community. Where by her community, I mean the leftist community. And they're calling her a transphobe.
Yes.
Period. Point blank.
Being a phobe or an ist in the leftist side is like the hardest thing in the world, probably. That's like
it's hard to come back from. There's
it's
no
like,
apology.
It's being called an Uncle Tom in the black community, right?
Exactly. There is no. Well, here's the funny thing though about being called an Uncle Tom. That's something you can only say about a motherfucker on the internet. It's not something you can say to their face and expect them not to have a reaction.
Yeah, there'd be a harsh reaction. It's funny. Shaolin says it's funny because the Young Turks made it clear they don't like Democrats. Yeah, well, they're extremists. They're Bernie Sanders, like socialists or whatever. Right. But most of the people who watch them are Democrats, obviously. Yeah. They're Democrats who say they say they're socialists, but they don't really mean it. Yeah. But obviously they do mean it. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Oh, shit. We're getting some movement over on our new favorite social media platform, Threads. Seen a bunch of hearts go up. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So what else we got, man? What else we got?
Do we want to talk about Jonah Hill and how to treat a woman?
Oh, man. I know how to treat these bitches.
Guys, I am in no way affiliated with this man. I do not know how he winds up on my podcast every week. He just always seems to appear. But
so Jonah Hill, man, Jonah Hill is in a little bit of controversy right now. He's had some stuff before, but nothing that really stuck. You know, he had a situation with Don Lemon back in the day, where Don Lemon accused him of not racism, but weirdism, like kind of talking down to him at a restaurant, and it didn't stick because people don't like Don Lemon. So
yeah,
now
it's actually super. But yeah, Don Lemon is the king. Actually, let's talk about Don Lemon real quick for a second. Don Lemon is at times the whitest black man that ever lived. However, sometimes his blackness truly shows, and he's the blackest motherfucker on the planet.
He's had so many moments throughout media history, it's hard to track. Like that moment with him and Talib Kweli from fucking the riots is insane. I'm like, I cannot believe this is happening right now.
Did you see his final interview when he was with Vivek, and they're getting into it?
Did you see Vivek on fucking The Breakfast Club?
No.
Oh my goodness. Do not watch it and go on air. It's something you can't talk about on the platform we're on, but it is painful. Vivek stood his ground, but The Breakfast Club, DJ Envy's a moron, right?
Right.
He's a moron. Sorry, Envy, you're a legend, but you should not be allowed to the table when it comes to any type of social or political discourse.
Here's what I'm saying. The Breakfast Club is not meant for like big thinkers. It's fun and games, and so they do put knuckleheads on that show.
Yeah, Vivek went on there, and there was an opportunity for a decent conversation, but what it turned into was them bringing up a contributor that pretended like they were going to have a good faith conversation with Vivek, and it turned into a bad faith conversation in which there might have been some slightly shrouded racism in there. There was a statement that was made: "You were brought here by your parents to a country that my ancestors helped build." And I'm like, why the fuck was that relevant in this conversation
Right.
in any way, shape, or form at all? Like,
It's their trump card. It's the trump card.
and
Right?
like, first of all, Vivek was not brought here; he was born here. So at least if you're gonna make a racial attack or you're gonna make some type of attack,
Well,
get it
Don
right.
Lemon, when he was taking him apart, said, "Don't." He said, "Don't try to whatever ethnicity you are, explain Black history to me, son." He said that to him on air.
Oh shit! Is that right before he got canned?
Yeah, that's the thing that led to him getting canned.
Well, now
Because
he's
he got
on
into
BET.
such a heated fight with him, and then he said, "Don't try to whatever ethnicity you are, explain American history to me."
Listen, well, he's on BET now, where he's gonna be safe, right?
I actually can't wait to see that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm gonna watch for sure. All right, so let's get into it. Jonah Hill is being accused of some type of verbal abuse via text, which in itself is strange, but this is already turned into the perfect commentary situation on YouTube. You have the women's sphere, like that's right. You and then you have the manosphere, like stand toe the line, brother, toe the line. So, what do you think, man?
So basically, what it is it's not like via text. Here's what it is: the evidence presented against him is via text. It was just a general attitude toward his girlfriend. So, you know, and this is so funny that it happens to come up during the Keke Palmer situation that people are comparing them.
Look, I ain't got no love for no fucking shit Keke Palmer saying, man. She took a shot at Claire Huxtable and she was out. I loved Keke Palmer up until I heard something she said about the character.
What did you say about Claire Huxtable?
Oh my goodness. Bex, can you get Mantis the link? Yeah,
Keke please. I want to know what she. Oh my God, Keke, you did not say shit about Claire Huxtable.
She was critical of a fictitious character. We must acknowledge that, played by Felicia Rashad, obviously on the Cosby Show.
It was just her birthday the other day.
Hey, shout out to a real queen, Felicia
Rashad. Yes, hell yeah. So
she was critical of the character, saying that she was basically too articulate.
Oh fucking God! Oh my God! As you know, it's something that both of us have been suffering our entire lives. Where'd you learn how to talk so good, kind of shit? They look at me. They're like, "Well, he must take after his white side because he talks so good." Oh fucking A, man.
That's the Keke Palmer thing. So I don't know if you want to show so there's no context for the Jonah Hill messages, right? I scoured for about 5 minutes. I found some stuff where I can see it seems like where the conversation started, but what basically seems to be stated here is that Jonah Hill is like, hey, these are my boundaries, and this is being called abusive. So it's up to interpretation. I would like to present the text to people who've been verbally abused and or physically abused to see if this is something that maybe they saw in the onset of their abuser's behavior, because from my side of the table, it just looks like he's setting some boundaries. But again, there's no context. I don't know what he's like. You know,
here's where the boundaries aren't boundaries anymore. They're just commands. Okay. And so he told her that she couldn't talk to other men when she was surfing, and she's a professional surfer.
Wait, is that what he said in the text? Let's read it.
Do you have it?
I sent it to you.
Oh, then we shall share it. We shall present the evidence.
Let's see. And shout out to everyone that's in here. Thanks for sticking around. I know there's 9 of you, but 3 of you are just listening in the background, and we appreciate that.
I don't know if I do. I don't think I have a link.
No, you do. I'll get it again for you, fucking boomer. Man, no. That's why I do it to him. Yeah, I got you, buddy. Don't worry about it. It's directly under the Anna tweet.
Oh, I thought that was part of the Anna tweet. See? Beck sent me some shit. Oh, man. Do we want to watch Keke Palmer real quick?
Yeah, let's watch Keke Palmer. This is going to turn into we hate black women somehow, but so I'm warning you, if you're not ready to fight these fights. Oh, shit. What did I just do? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just like, you better not be fucking with my Claire Huxtable.
Oh, shit. I think I just ended the stream on fucking... Oh, no, I didn't.
No, you didn't. You calling me a boomer. So I just need to get down to the Keke Palmer thing because I need to know all about the Keke Palmer situation.
Wait, so Pony said, nah, he had his couples therapist tell her that. I was thinking that, I know you might be joking, but I was like, Pony, I was like, when I was reading, I was like, this sounds like something I would tell a client. I'm like, hey, just lay out your boundaries in an articulate, non-threatening way.
Oh, come on. Don't you fuck with Claire Huxtable, you witch. Sorry.
Yeah, and here's another added layer for those of you who don't know what's going on with the Kiki thing while we wait to get to the Jonah thing, is that Kiki was at a concert with Usher, or Ursher if you're from the ATL. And
I'm sorry. Shit is funny to me.
And maybe there's something we're not seeing here about Kiki's baby daddy, or as Beck says, her dusty ass baby daddy's response. Ursher has been accused of having the happies. What? No, I'm not talking about the happy feet that you learned about in kindergarten. I'm talking about the happies. That one STD that just never quite goes away and you just give it to people.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So maybe that was the reason he had that response, Kiki's baby daddy, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Give us some volume, man. Start over.
Did we lose video?
No, it's because you clicked out of it. It's TikTok. I can hear it a little bit. Mantis explodes in 3, 2. Oh, he can hear it. Obviously, my man right here is fanning himself.
Nonsense.
Could you hear it, Mantis?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why we can't hear it. The volume's crazy low.
What?
You're sharing your private messages with Bex. Motherfucker.
Don't worry. There's no.
Man, this is an op. He's an op, I tell you.
Everyone's an op. You're a mad conspiratorial lately. You all right, brother?
You're an op. This motherfucker just had the whole message thread up there. So
Kiki basically gave the "you talk so white" stance in this video, but her dusty ass baby daddy still bitch made. Yes, absolutely. D says, I saw that. Yo, D, what up? Welcome. I think you're just getting here now, but yo, thank you. I'm glad I didn't send any nudes. Well, I'm not. 46 is all over.
This is blushing. He's flushed. He's like, what did they really see? He's gonna go back and watch.
Well, yeah, I'm not even sure what is the contents of that. So here's what I'm saying: the Keke Palmer, and like he's gonna keep laughing while he try to be serious. The Keke Palmer situation and the Jonah Hill situation are all basically in the same theme, right?
Right. Well, let's get to it.
It's men trying to control women is the concept.
Wait, okay, so that is the
general theme.
Whether
yes, I'm saying whether. Here's what I'm saying. Whether either case actually falls under that is argument, but that's what we're going to discuss right now.
All right, so the Jonah Hill thing, I'm not going to make you go through trying to share that, but I did see the link, and I can read it to everyone what he said exactly. Just give me 1 second to click on it, and you can just trust that what I'm reading is actually what's stated.
I don't think you're going to lie.
God damn, why does this shit look so bad? This is the worst tweet ever. If you need, okay, I'm just gonna pull it up. Don't worry about it, because I'm not sure this falls under the line of...
Jesus walked in at a perfect time.
You certainly.
We've been having some very important conversations, D, and you've been missing it.
You certainly came in at the best time.
And while we wait for him, I gotta say, yo, guys, Autolus. You guys need to download Autolus. I'm going to keep harassing you all, and you need to come to our radio shows, man. And that's the deal. Now, the problem is, me and Steve are going to have the same time frame. 4 to 8 p.m. No. However, that's 8 hours. They can jump between us. You want your hot Adult contemporary, boom, come to Mantis. You feel like getting you want some old school hip hop, you go over to Steve, you jump back and think, we're going to quiz you guys and make sure that you actually have been going to our video, you go into our things. But yeah, if I become an asshole about constantly being like, come to my radio show, just know it is the Mantis. He's doing it out of love. But I need my people to represent. You know what I mean?
So believe it or not, I believe this shit got scrubbed, but the long and short of it was like I literally sent you a link and I'm clicking on a link and it's dead now. But if I can make this out, it says plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places and from your wild, distant past, beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something, or a lunch or something respectable, I'm not interested in. So he's basically, he laid out some boundaries in regards.
So
to
he's laying out his ground rules. And so, but I don't like that he's like you can't hang out with a wild and crazy friend. We all have wild and crazy friends.
You're my wild and crazy friend.
Yes, I think I might be your wild and crazy, which is weird because when we were younger, you were my wild and crazy friend.
Yeah.
So we've traded places or whatever. Yeah. But so where does it lie where a man can, or I'm not saying can, but obviously every woman has to decide for herself. It's not abuse, when someone looks in on some other person's relationship and judges them. But the question is, where is a man's where's the limit as to what he can ask of his girlfriend?
Right. Well, okay, so
you know what, I will say that I thought that he had said relationship, friendships with men, but he's really saying, he said inappropriate friendships.
Right. And what do you deem as inappropriate? So there's room for interpretation there. Right?
And we've all had them, and I'm going to judge you all and make you feel all horrible at yourselves. Just quick warning.
Yeah. So let's talk about it, right? So inappropriate for what would be inappropriate for Jonah Hill, what would be inappropriate for Mantis, what would be inappropriate for Steve, right? I'm going to take a shot at it, and I think what he's talking about is the type of inappropriate relationships where if this is a young person or, younger person where it's like overly flirtatious, hanging off each other, that type of stuff. Things without boundaries, right? But everyone's been guilty of it in the past, right? Especially in that station where they're at right now. I don't know how old this young lady is, but as I was reading this, I was like, this seems like something you would say as an older man to a younger woman.
Yeah.
And
it does.
And I'm not excusing the behaviors of a younger woman, but I am going to side eye an older dude who dates a younger woman. I'm like, but bro, you're 40, she's in her 20s.
You fuck that. But I will date as many 20-year-olds as I want.
But what's your expectation?
Here's what I'm saying. I do think that
only a certain type of 20-year-old is going to be ready to have the, you're obviously only 29, right? But I'm 42, right? I'm a 42-year-old man. I've known you since you were 12.
Good save. No, here's what I'm saying. I know a lot of people will be like, I'm so grossed out about age differences.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the gross out, like being grossed out by it. But I'm talking about if you're a 42-year-old man mentally, and if you're a 42-year-old woman mentally and spiritually, and maybe even socially, you're in a different place where it's like, I don't need to go out to the club. I don't need to have the overly flirtatious relationship with friends. You know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Right? Like,
I know what you're talking about, but I think that it's only like bad in terms of like the age differences. Like you were saying, like an older man talking down to his girl like he's her dad. That's weird.
But is that what Jonah Hill was doing, or was he saying that, hey, if this is what you want to do it, but you ain't gonna do it with me?
That's now that I hear the actual words of what it is, it sounds a little more sane. I don't like that he used the word boundary. This is my boundary. He just used the wrong word.
What's wrong with using the word boundary?
So a boundary has to do with you and your existence, not someone else's. So I'll be like, yo, Steve, I have a boundary, and it's that you don't write me up at work. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that. That is not appropriate.
That you are 100%. That is an inaccurate way to do that. But if your boundary is this, instead you say, "Hey, Steve, here's my boundary. If you need to get into a fight, get sloppy drunk every time we go out, then I don't need to be around you."
Okay, that's perfectly fine. You're right. That's a great example of a boundary where it's about someone else, but yeah, that's your boundary. You'll be like, I'm gonna walk away from that.
The way you articulate shit, man. I've broken up with so many dumb bitches. I mean, wait, are we still on there? I've never broken up with a dumb bitch.
So D wants you to read it again. She says, "I'm so lost. What did he actually say?"
Okay, God, now I gotta find. Give me a sec, D. Mantis, and entertain the people while I do this.
Guys, I'm gonna juggle for you. Just kidding, I can't juggle. But I will tell you this. Those damn liberal
All right, here we go. I have the tweet and I can read it again. All right, I'm ready to go. So this is in response to something she said. I thought I found what she said, but who knows? The context is not there. And neither one of these people are entirely that attractive that we should care about it. He looks like he just rolled out of the trailer park.
Of course. Is she not hot?
I mean, the picture I'm looking at, yeah.
His answer is no, basically. Go.
She looks like she has a great personality. Anyway, plain and simple, he starts it off. If you need, surfing with men, okay, sounds a little weird starting off with, boundaryless of inappropriate friendships. So he's saying that there's no boundaries with the friendships with the men. To model, weird. We're going back to weird. I'm not saying if you need to do this, if you need to model. To post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit. So let's stop right there. A lot of people are like, she's a professional surfer. Do you know what professional surfers, male and females, wear when they surf?
Oh yeah, they wear the full suit, okay. Not an actual bathing suit.
So there we go. Let's just
nobody surfs in a bathing suit. What the fuck is
that? Right. To post sexual pictures. Interesting. What does he determine is sexual? How does he determine what's sexual? We have no context. But we have no context to condemn him either if we're going by that standard. Friendships with women who are in unstable places and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful. All right. So at first when you hear this, you're like, yo, my man's bugging out. But then when you let it settle in, you're like, is he talking about that one homegirl that tries to get your girl to go back?
He is. However, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
This might be a personal question, but would you ever tell your woman that?
I have.
Oh.
I
keep an eye on my girl's wild chick, but I don't.
I have one trump card, but it's double-sided. I don't play that shit. Because here's the thing, right? If you have a friend like that, the expectation cannot be that don't say anything to her. You know how she gets. Fuck that. You know how I get. You know what I'm saying? Like
but you would tell her not to hang out with her friend?
No, I wouldn't tell her not to do anything. I would just say, yo, the decisions you make with your friend will impact you. For sure. Like that 100%. Now, if it's like some wild chick that I think can bring physical violence, this is something I worry about more.
Oh, right.
Then, like, if you know what I'm saying, if she's got a loud mouth, thinks she can fight men, I'm 100% be like, yo, don't chill with her.
Yes, I feel you on that.
Like when my wife was pregnant, my biggest fear was someone tapping in her belly while I wasn't there to protect her. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing in like me not being able to get there in time. So if you got friends, male or female, like that, I don't want her around. You were there at my bachelor party. You remember what happened when we showed up to pick her up from the club with the bouncers and stuff.
Right.
Like, I'm not that guy. I'm like, yo, don't put me in that position because I'm gonna respond the same way every time. And I might forget someone's gender. Yeah.
Lainey says, actually, I totally surfed in a pair of swim shorts.
Swim shorts.
Shorts. Not a bikini. They say you are who you hang out with, but that's not true. We all know that's true. We have a range of friends. We have our uber Christian friends, and we have our wild friends. Sometimes we're the ones reining in our wild friends. Sometimes our wild friends are the ones who drag us into the mud. I will say this. Yeah, it sucks that when everyone has a bad influence friend. However, I like to think that I date women at least stable enough to not like cheat on me because they're hanging out with their bad influence friend. Like if I have a girl that can't, like, it feels like she's like, every time I hang out with Meredith, we get drunk and suck some random motherfucker's dick. Then
Whoa,
I'm not
who's
gonna date
Meredith?
her. I'm not gonna date this girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I don't need to make a memo or a text or anything. If that's what's going down, she's not my girl. Is there more?
So yeah, same thing. This is why Mantis drew the compare and contrast. Only with the controversial PFP. Same reason that this is why Mantis drew the compare and contrast with the Kiki Palmer thing. Why did she share this on the internet? Like, now, if she would have shared a picture of a black eye, we'd all been like, "What the Jonah Hill's a monster." But this just sounds like, all right. Let's keep going.
Well, this is cloud chasing. It's absolute cloud chasing, sharing the shit.
So let's get back to it. And I don't mean to cut you off, because I just realized that I may not have read this entire thing through, or it didn't register. Friendships with women who are in an unstable place and from your wild recent past beyond getting lunch or coffee or something respectful. So now that I'm reading that with the right framing and context, he's like, you can hang out with them, but it's got to be something like where that doesn't involve you and Meredith, getting DP'd like you used to back in the day. Okay, let's get it. Then if you can't do those things, it sounds like he's saying, I'm not the right partner for you.
Oh, so he's actually saying that he's giving her a chance to walk out. He's like, here are things that will offend me. That's what I feel. That's a better word than boundary, but however, he didn't use it. But I understand what he's saying. He's like, this will offend me, and if this is going to happen,
that's a boundary. You're stating a boundary, and you're just like, and at the onset or at some point in the relationship, like, hey, these things are important to you. I'm not the right partner for you. No one's insulted. No one's hurt. If these are the things you do, then do you, boo. I'm not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings.
Oh, wow.
These are my boundaries for a romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. So he's describing something that's now, we still don't have context in regards to the relationship and how it played out, but it sounds like he's responding to things that's happened, right? In the relationship, where he's not saying like, hey, babe, I'm sorry for busting your lip for opening the tuna too slow the other night. It's like, you know what I'm saying? He's like,
that was strangely specific.
What I heard in the Bill Burr skit. So I think I found one of her tweets. It says to Jonah, but who knows if this shit is real. I'm sorry I said that. Who knows what the context is. I'm sorry I said that. This is from this can't be it, because it's from like 2021. I didn't catch what the date was from. Yeah, okay, so these are all from 2021. Okay, so let me see if I can get back to it. So her message seems to be at 7:48 p.m. I'm sorry I said that. I had a couple of beers and I'm just upset, feeling like we can't do surf social things without an uncomfortable situation arising that usually feels like my fault somehow. I feel you pull away, and then the feeling of being defective creeps in. I think I'm not socially intelligent enough to meet your needs as a partner. And then I get frustrated and angry at myself, and I just want you to rip the Band-Aid off. I'm not good enough for you. In moments of conflict, my brain thinks you want to dump me because I'm not good enough for you, and you're the GOAT, and you can do better, and you will immediately want you end things with me. And
she put that in a tweet. That wasn't a private message. Like, what? Damn.
No, that was in a private message. That was in a private message.
She's sharing it because she wants to look good, because that makes her look good.
And it's cropped off. I can't fully read his response. It seems like these were in the same day. You're right. We can do surfs. You're right. We can't do surf social things or develop trust until you consider me and make decisions that give that regard to our relationship. It seems like he said.
Oh my God! You realize what's happening?
Yeah, we're two bored ass motherfuckers, because that was her thing was from October and his is from December 2nd.
No, but the point is like, here's the thing. For those who don't know, professional surfers are like bikers without balls, but they're loose ass motherfuckers. And what it actually sounds like is the reason why he's saying these things to her digitally is because it sounds like it's a reoccurring problem where she does loose ass shit with her surfer friends.
Yeah, I thought that was obvious.
Now that I'm hearing it a couple months later, there's like another one. I'm like, okay, wait, this is reoccurring.
So I mean, but it could still go the other way, right? Jonah Hill could be some, awkward, abusive type of dude. But it sounds like to me that he's like, hey, these are my boundaries. If you can't respect my boundaries of what I think a romantic relationship is, no shade, no hate. Go about you. Why would this be interpreted as abusive? Why would people be attempting to cancel him? Because I sent you and Shaolin in our private a message of a Lord of the Rings character that is true and dude, like dear to my heart. Good old Pinky. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Pinky the Orc. I love him.
And Pinky the Orc is standing there. He's like, the age of men has ended. But now he's got a blue wig on, right? And he's got glasses on. And he's a feminist, right? It's like the age of men has ended and the age of woman.
Yeah. The age of man is over. It is now the time of the orc. I love that part when he says that. Like, it's
ma'am. Oh, Bex take a shot. Says she's 25, maybe age up next time. And apparently he already knocked her up. Poor choices eliminate chances in my red pill voice. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. But you can always make a better choice. And that's what I be telling these broke ass bitches when they be with these pookies. I'm like, you ain't got to have 2 more babies with the motherfucker. Go get your GED, Shaniqua. Get your shit together.
Beck says, I would expect a 25-year-old surfer chick to be a little loose. Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's ma'am.
It's Pinky the Orc with the blue hair. Okay, so you know what? We have exonerated Jonah Hill. He's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, you were ready to go full cape, huh?
Yeah. You know what it is? This is an example.
About to turn into that guy at the bar like, bro, you're being unreasonable. Clearly Samantha's.
Yeah, no.
He's honestly, crying. 3 doors.
This is an example. This is an example of where you get your info from. And so I got my info probably from some feminists who were like, look at this evil Jonah Hill.
I mean, again, we don't know the context, right? We don't know the context. There could be more here. He could be, emotionally manipulative. It could be all those things. But
I'm sure he is. He looks like a shady ass motherfucker.
I mean, he was rude to Don Lemon at a restroom. Who the fuck is rude to Don Lemon at a restroom?
Right.
Gotta be shady for that shit. But
Shaolin says it's ma'am.
Ma'am. All right, let's get into it, man. What did Grace Randolph? Because I want to give you enough time.
Yeah, it's all right. We can say her name because I'm so angry at this chick right now. Are we gonna play some more video?
Yeah, whatever it was that pissed you off, man. Let's play it, folks. I cannot wait to get a haircut, man. I cannot wait to get a haircut.
She's an animal. She's an absolute animal.
What did she do? What did she do, bro?
Okay, so do you know about this movie, The Sound of Freedom?
Is this some right-wing craziness? No, I don't know.
It is.
Oh, it is some right.
It is, but only in the most awesome way. So this is the #2 movie in America right now.
Oh, nice.
And so what it was, I'm sorry, #3. It's it made #3, and it's a right-wing movie about some cops who are hunting human traffickers. They have to get a kid back, and they end up unraveling all these rich, powerful people in Hollywood who have the kids.
Epstein and the crew.
Yeah, and so yes, it's exactly like that kind of thing. And so, because she's such a lefty, and so a lot of people are hating on it because it was created by Angel Productions. Angel Productions are known to do Christian films.
Oh, gotcha.
And so they did it, and people are like, basically the press is basically not covering it. Like they're saying they're like #3 movie this weekend on its premiere is blah blah blah. Grace Randolph jumps in on all this shit and talks shit about the movie, explains why it's all right that it's being railroaded, and basically backs human trafficking.
Wait, play it now. Bex, please call the doctors. Tonight's the night I have the fucking heart attack. I bequeath all of the Hold Up TV's earnings to Mantis, Bex, and my family.
Yeah, this woman is literally the devil. This woman is the devil because she really. Oh God, that voice! She's a fucking psycho.
Autolist.com. Folks, here's the thing about us on Autolist, right? We're going to do our thing there, but we may ask you to join a few hundred other places. Just rock with us. You're just downloading an app. If we go
just
to a new
do
app,
it.
Delete the old app.
Just do. Every year there's like a go-to app for us, obviously, but you have fun. Don't fucking pretend like you're not having fun. Yeah. Yo, Mantis and Steve are giving you fun. That's what you asked for, right? Are you not entertained?
Whenever people say another app, I'm like, what do you have? Like a phone from 2010? You can only have 3 apps. You can only have 3
apps. We didn't, for starters, we never asked you to download Spoon. We all met you on Spoon, right? And so we've asked for we were like Green Room, maybe Clubhouse. And don't pretend like you weren't on Clubhouse already.
Mixcloud in my case, but you had a good time on
Mixcloud. We had a great time, right?
Pony's bringing up some shit right here, Pony. Yes, Pony. I know you do have an auto agreement. If something happens to me, you get my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Yes.
Wait, what happened? What's going on? What's the auto agreement?
This is from the other night. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Said, don't worry. Are you drunken gambling your phones away again?
Oh, I'm drunken gambling your life away. I put your life up for stakes the other day.
So this is the devil woman.
Oof.
What a fucking disgusting animal. So let's hear a little. So here's what it is. So the Sound of Freedom gets number 3 on the box office. And so she decides to, at Movie Math, explain why it isn't worthy of 3. Here we go.
Now, on that note, speaking of relationships in Hollywood, Angel Studios
I apologize
doesn't
for
really
her
have
voice.
any, but they sure have a lot of fans, enough to move the needle. The Chosen is their crown jewel, an ongoing crowd-funded series that over the past few years has played some episodes in theaters. We've talked about them because they've done quite well. In fact,
she has completely doxed herself, and she's lucky that we don't have more New York savvy people. Because
I know exactly what building she does her thing from. Absolutely.
I've never looked at the background, and then immediately I was
West Side Highway is right over there. I'm not going to even say what street it is, but I know the skyline of that street.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The Chosen is so successful that just recently the CW acquired the first 3 seasons, the rights to air them on that network in the United States, which is that was a huge deal for Angel Studios and that show. Now, how about The Sound of Freedom? Well, this movie was not produced by Angel Studios. Disney, after it acquired Fox, it decided to shelve this film, which I think is helping the narrative of Sound of Freedom, because a lot of people who are interested in Sound of Freedom are against Disney right now. So they're like, oh, why'd they shelve it, man? So we'll talk about
pedophiles like you, Grace Randolph.
The director brought it to Angel Studios because he recognized there was a lot of crossover appeal in the film and the people who made the movie and people who enjoy the work of Angel Studios. And sure enough, Angel Studios passed the buck on to their biggest crowdfunders. They have some kind of think tank of the biggest contributors to their studio, which are viewers.
This is like early.
Because again, it's all crowdfunded. And they asked them, and they said, what do you guys think? Should we release this? And they were strongly encouraged by their crowdfunders to do so. But, just because someone is a supporter of your company doesn't mean they understand good business moves. And I think it was a mistake for Angel Studios to release this film.
Now, before she continues anymore, notice that she already starts off saying, it was a mistake to release this film. It is number 3 in America in its opening weekend.
And by the way, the name of the show is called Movie Math, right? So the premise of the show is the mathematics behind what movies are in what slot according to what they've made. And this being the number 3 movie, I assume in America, right, is a big deal for an indie studio, an independent studio. Now, Grace is going to explain to us why this is bad business, because in the long run, people are going to X, Y equal Z type shit. Continue.
Because Angel Studios was doing so well. So let me tell you why. So the film has been endorsed by Mel Gibson. Somebody inaccurately said it was his movie. He just backed it up. And the reason is because it stars his Jesus, Jim Caviezel, so that connection was there. And Jim Caviezel, for those of you who might not be aware, has come out in favor of several right-wing conspiracies. Let's say it that way.
So pay attention to her saying right-wing conspiracies, because he says it throughout the video constantly, yet never backs up what it is, what she's talking about. It's sheer vagaries.
So many of you over the past couple of days have been like, why aren't you covering Sound of Freedom? Why isn't Sound of Freedom getting more coverage in the press overall? And it's very conspiracy theory like. It's not complicated. It's because
checking in with our chat,
right?
Bex says yes, her voice is very annoying. Pony says I'd pay to dunk tank this woman just because of her voice.
And, she's an OG on YouTube, man. And
but her voice is fucking. You're right. They're right. Her voice is OD crazy.
It's bad. But I noticed, man. Her sub count is going back up.
People will always simp for losers, but she'll never make $1 million.
Well, why won't they simp for us? Damn it. We need your love more than she does.
Because we're not white. Let's go on.
Because of its relationship to right-wing conspiracies. That's the whole reason that it isn't getting any traction. Sound of Freedom is uncomfortably close to several right-wing conspiracies and the associated groups. And the movie has been politicized by the far right. Not only with accusatory statements of, this isn't why it's getting coverage because it's some kind of conspiracy theory. Just people don't want to be anywhere near that. And then,
so she's like, people are saying there's a conspiracy to not cover it. People aren't covering it because it's your conspiracies. Then it's confirming their conspiracy.
Right.
You have a political reason not to cover the number 3 movie in the country.
Right. Right. No.
She's going to continue to justify it. It's crazy.
And also, religious groups and far-right organizations have been buying up a large number of the tickets, not just to give out for free, because they care about the film.
This is exactly what people said about Disney and Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay. Continue.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember when they said that? They were like, Disney's buying a bunch of seats up.
That is a very good point.
Unconfirmed. All of it is unconfirmed.
The message, et cetera, but clearly to also bump up that box office. So that's actually not a legitimate box. I mean, it is legitimate.
How much could they possibly buy?
Made, but it didn't sell that number.
$40 million worth? Not likely.
People to do it. It's so funny because the group that supports Sound of Freedom will accuse other studios of doing that, whereas they do not. They don't do that. But here, that was actually what was done. So
what proof does
that's not great. I mean, $40.2 million
is
an impressive amount of money. And that's since it's only number 3 this weekend, but it opened on July 4th, and it did very well, particularly on that opening day. So no matter where that money came from, the exhibitors are happy to take it. They don't care how many people are actually in the theater. They just care about the amount of money that was, the money that they get because of the tickets sold. And as you can see, that also has an effect on the box office. That number, because of the way it was handled.
Wait, real short question. Rogue Radio says, it's actually a good movie. You know me and serious topics, and this touched me on so much.
Wow.
About the issue in detail and what they have to do to extract children. And you know what's actually really funny? That's amazing that you saw it. I love that. I'm going to actually go see it in theaters. But you know what's actually funny, Rogue Radio? The reason why I am so disdainful of Grace, other than everything about her. But the thing is that when I was working today,
ooh, hold on,
I have had 2 groups, not one, but 2 groups, mention that movie randomly while talking while I was selling them something.
Wait, don't unpause it. Don't unpause it. I just want to back up your play right here. Do you believe in body language science? Like, do you believe that you can interpret a person's intentions and who they are in an accurate way based off of the faces and micro mannerisms?
Yeah, I totally believe that.
You, sir, have paused this at the most perfect moment. To the audience, I would like to present Exhibit A. Notice Grace's hand. Notice her face. This speaks volumes of potentially about the type of person she is in private and in bed, right? Like she she strikes me as a no, not there type of girl. She strikes me as a
yeah.
She strikes me as a
Many rules.
But I told you we were going to my parents. And they're like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't, because the calendar you made for me doesn't say parents visit on it. If you're in the audience, you understand what I'm saying. I would love to see your examination of her face. Also, real quick, Mantis, who was in this movie? Who are the actors?
I don't know who the other actor. I know the main guy, that main actor. She's right. He played Jesus in the Passion of the Christ. For those who don't know, yes, I'm one of those religious types that watch it every year on Good Friday. That actor, he plays one of the cops.
Okay.
Yo, Rogue Radio says you weren't meant to see it, Mantis.
No, you were meant to see it.
Oh, you were meant to see it. There we go. I am meant to see it. Absolutely. But yo, you know what I'm saying? You know what I thought you were going to say about the body language right now?
What?
She looks like a liar right now. She's coming up with a story.
Look at it's very modern art, Upper East Side. I want to tell you that this is a painting that has deeper depth, but we look at it and I'm like, it looks like you threw blue paint on top of red paint on top of yellow paint. And now you've been talking to me for 20 minutes about how this has to do with systemic racism. And I just don't see it.
Yes. There's nothing deep about this woman. Trust me. She wants to be acknowledged as like a real like Hollywood reporter, even though she's a YouTuber. And so,
well, to be fair, at one point she had her foot in the door. She was on a local news station. The trajectory of her career looked like it was going that way. But just like so many NBA players, she is now not that.
Yes,
anymore.
And so she's always wanted legitimacy. It never came to fruition. She obviously makes a lot of money on YouTube, and for me that would be amazing. I'd feel that's enough. But personally, from what I understand about her, that is not enough for her. And so she's constantly trying to shill for the mainstream media. If the mainstream media is boycotting this movie, then she's definitely going to find a way to do that.
So really quickly, in regards to the ghost seats, the faith-based Sound of Freedom has booming sales, but it's the sound of free, as company offers thousands of gratis tickets paid for by others. So the tickets were paid for, even if this is the accusation and it's true. Someone paid for the tickets, gifted them. It's like gifted subs. Okay.
It's still legitimate. No one else analyzes any other films how they sell their tickets.
So wait, this is not what they were accusing Miss Marvel of. This is not, in fact, what they were accusing Miss Marvel. They were accusing Disney of straight up buying their own tickets. And this is not the same thing. So this is something I've seen happen before, or I've heard alleged before. So you remember that they made a movie about Paul, the Apostle Paul, not too long ago. And actually, the actor that's in this movie, he played Luke in the Apostle Paul movie. And a lot of churches would buy tickets.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
They would buy tickets for people, and they'd be like, hey, this is a gift from us to you. Go check out this movie.
It's a church group going. Yeah, they get in the van. We'll take you to this movie. Right?
But the tickets are being bought by these organizations as donations, because whenever you're dealing with something faith-based or coming from this sphere, it's a charity, but it's an act of kindness to be like, hey, go see this. I think it's either going to enrich you or go see this. This is something you need to be aware of. It's no different than if I bought 50 tickets for when the Black Panther movie came out. Not Black Panther MCU. I'm talking about when the movie about the Black Panthers came out. People were buying tickets for other black people to go see this movie. Go ahead.
Right. No, I feel you. But like, so this movie has made to date $40 million, right?
Right.
How many tickets do you think donors can create?
Not $40 million.
Yeah, $40 million is a ton of money.
I'm not saying that it's not impossible. I'm just saying it's not very, in my estimation, it's not very likely. And this is more smokescreen about what you said exactly. Like, it completely blew their mind when, what was it? The Promise. What's the name of the show about Jesus they were just referring to?
The Chosen.
The Chosen, right? It blew their mind that a crowd-funded show was doing well with the people who crowd-funded it, right? And then other people started watching it, right? You know, So why would it blow your mind that there are people who are actually interested in seeing a topic about children actually being abducted and put into very precarious, harmful, and abusive situations? This is something, no matter how these people try to explain it away, and I'm not a QAnon person, right? But there is an evil world that exists where children are targeted and sold into trafficking. And it happens right here in our own country. Why do we need to pretend like it's a right-wing conspiracy? Bro, they busted up one of the biggest rings. This is public knowledge. Google it. In Atlanta. In fucking Atlanta.
I freaking believe it. But what my problem is, what is this person on YouTube doing trying to cover it up as well? Trying to be like, it's a right-wing conspiracy.
I'm sorry, bro. She just looks like your next ex-girlfriend. I'm sitting across the table.
At this point, I would never touch that.
Even ironically, my conservative red meat burger, and she's droning on and on and on about issues and people groups issues and telling me about my experience as a black man and how I need to be more involved. And at that point, my fucking burger is ruined.
Grace, you ruined his burger. God damn it. Sick. Let's listen to more of her excuses.
I mean, people did go see the movie, but I think that box office number is also, I would say that's a mix of ticket sales and also donations is a good way to put it.
But what I'm saying is no one ever analyzes how other movies get their tickets. And it's not just faith-based ones that do that. No. Superhero movies do that too as well.
Yeah, famously when Wonder Woman came out, the original, the good one, a school paid to buy out a theater, to bring young girls to see Wonder Woman.
There's a ton of that behavior going on, and yet somehow this is the only time she ever brings light to it. And the idea that they could generate $40 million, there's no Christian with a big enough heart to pay for that many tickets. So I'm saying maybe they bought $1 or $2 million worth of tickets, but at that point, you really can't get that much higher than that.
Yeah. I think you should be really paying attention to the comparison, the contrast to right-wing conspiracies. And here's the thing about it, right? I'd be interested to hear Rogue's thoughts on it. Are there some insane things that have come out of the QAnon space? Yes. Yes, there are. Are there some things that they have said that have touched on things that are actually happening when it comes to the trafficking of young children? Yes. Do I know if Obama was having hot dog parties in the White House? No, probably very unlikely. Do I think that powerful people in their secret little places do horrible things? Yes, we know that's true. Look at the Epstein situation. For God's sake, you went to LaGuardia. How does it make you feel now? Not Epstein, but the greatest pimp in history. When I say greatest, I should say most infamous. His homegirl, Ghislaine, was outside of LaGuardia.
Recruiting LaGuardians, yeah.
Yeah, right in front of Lincoln Center, recruiting young girls to be sent off to islands. These are things that happen, and the rich and powerful have done it for thousands of years.
But does it upset you, as I am upset, that people like her are covering it up?
It doesn't upset me because I'm not surprised that in the Quran, there's a term that's used. I just make sure I qualify something here, right? Not taking a shot at the Quran. But in the Quran, I think one of the most telling things they said is a term that they use for what's called a useful idiot. And I think that a lot of people think they are on the side of good, but they are useful idiots for satanic ideologies.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on in this world. I believe that. I don't think that this person on our screen right now is a useful idiot. I think they are a self-serving idiot.
Oh boy.
And they're just trying to cash in. They don't think they're doing good right now.
So
they're trying to increase their own value.
So let me ask you a question. What's the difference? And this is just it made this come to me. What's the difference between a useful idiot serving the wants and needs of a satanic culture versus someone that is a woeful participant? Because I think that's what makes you a real Satanist. When you're like, I know where I'm going, but God damn it, I'm enjoying the ride. Give me more.
So, to quote the Usual Suspects, right? The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making people believe he doesn't exist.
Great movie,
great quote, great concept.
Right.
This person right here is participating in satanic evil shit. However, she doesn't believe in the afterlife. She said it on her streams all the time.
Wait, doesn't she?
She believes in God, but she doesn't believe in like biblical like.
Oh, she doesn't believe in like okay.
She basically is what it is. She's like one of those light Christians that she's like, I believe in the concept of God. I think God is love, that kind of shit.
Right.
But doesn't really believe in Satan or these other things, which is why she works for Satan. She fell for it.
So wait, do you think there's a difference between her? Do you think there are willing participants who know there's a Satan and they're like, sign me up, boss?
I do. I think that there's them, and then there's her. She's level 2 or whatever. They're level 3. She's level 2, and there's level 1 who people really like are just totally ignorant.
Yeah, good stuff. Play it.
We've discussed many times now, particularly in the last year or so, that conservative content is becoming quite popular, driven not just by white audiences, but also by a number of Latinos. We were just also talking about their box office muscle, and a lot of Latinos are conservative.
Pause that shit. Folks, this was something we were supposed to talk about tonight, but we're obviously not going to have the time to get into.
We're not going to have
we were talking about the Latino and black bourgeoisie, the elites of the black and brown community. And I wanted to juxtapose that with no racism or any political strategy in my heart in regards to the topic of immigration and migrants being moved suspiciously not into the affluent white liberal neighborhoods, but into poor black neighborhoods. And if you have lived in LA or any place where there has been tension between the black community and the Latino community before, we recognize what's happening, right? If you start doing this, you are breeding another early 2000s, mid 2000s situation that you saw in LA. If D's still in the chat, very tense during the 2010 era, relations between black and brown people, but also looking at this, liberals. You should look at these numbers and be very, 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 very concerned about what you're doing. 30% of Hispanics went to go see this movie. And it's an even higher number, some estimate, of Hispanics, that Hispanic males that may have voted for Trump. Now, I would love to see a breakdown of how many of those gentlemen were born in America or were first-generation immigrants, because some polls are suggesting that the Latino vote is starting to skew more conservative.
Of course,
in regards to American-born or first-generation Latinos. This is all speculation, just stuff.
My man, it is obvious. It is obvious if you do the math.
Right.
So I'll give you an example. The left is trying to get rid of gender concepts and like we should have ungendered blah 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 blah. For starters, Spanish is one of the most gendered languages. I was about to say the most. I don't know that for a fact, but it is one of the most gendered languages ever. It has more gender recognition than almost any Western language, right?
Right.
They also have traditional values. They don't want to eliminate the concept of women. They want to say women, persons who menstruate or what do they call them? Child carriers or whatever. Fucking
birthing people.
Birthing people. A Latino's not gonna fucking get into that.
Right.
Right. So the more they push these crazy concepts, the less likely the immigrants who they're shuttling in because they think they're gonna get votes out of them are gonna participate in that.
No, 100%, man. So I do hope we have room for one more trailer because I meant to bring this up to you. So let's wrap up the Grace thing here. So you got pissed. You're upset. Grace is a moron, right? And when I say she's a moron, I think she actually can be extremely insightful when it comes to the critiquing.
She's a smart person who's a fucking idiot.
She's a smart dumb person.
She's a smart person who she serves the wrong side, and this is all for monetary shit. Okay. She's trying to kiss up to mainstream media. It doesn't excuse her. It makes her even more willing to participate in the satanic vibe of it all.
Bro, I'm really surprised that Grace is not on a Sirius radio. Like, it blows my mind.
She's a loser, which is why she can't get on there. She's a loser, and here's what I'm saying. When people are like, well, Manchester, you haven't. I've been on YouTube 3 years. She's been on 13 years. She's had every advantage and every opportunity. You're right. She should be on that. But she is a loser.
Right.
She's a failure.
I would agree with that.
She's successful in the YouTube sense of it, but she's not successful. She's not Mr. Beast.
Bro,
right?
it's weird, man. I remember before COVID, when I was in LA, she was doing like meetups and like premieres and like LA and shit. Like, and unless I'm just not paying enough attention to her channel anymore, I don't see that type of activity.
She's calling it in. She's been calling it in for the last couple of years.
She's been dialing it, huh?
I remember when she first started, she used to do really dynamic episodes, and I used to love it. You know, one of my I think I've said this before. One of my favorites was remember there was an ad for, "Are you a PC or are you an Apple?"
Oh yeah. I remember that shit.
Right. And so she made a parody of that commercial. She said, "Are you a DC or are you a Marvel?"
Right.
And it was for a video, and it was brilliant. She doesn't do shit like that. She just sits on her ass and fucking with the skyline of New York behind her and spouts liberal bullshit.
By the way, speaking of liberal bullshit, DC's new animated series has started. Not series, but their animated movies have been rolling out. I don't know if you've been paying attention on Max. So you have the new Batman animated movie, Gotham, and then you have a new Justice League, I believe as well. Have you checked them out yet?
I have not. Have you?
Tried to watch them the other day. Freaking kids were awake, and I heard one F-bomb, and I was like, God damn it. I had to turn it off.
Right.
D says, I've been saying it. Latinos have conservative values. Liberals are trying to get Latinos on their side, but they have no idea. D, and this is what I'm talking about. So as the influx of migrants comes in, I don't think that the liberals are really thinking about what they're doing, right? This is a conversation for another time, maybe a Discord call, but I do think that they are forward, and I'm talking about the liberals in this regard. I think they want to diminish the black vote, and this is not a shot at your community, D. I think they've had it with us. I think they've had it with the black vote. The minute people started saying tangible for our vote, they're like, fuck that. They're like, fuck that.
Yo.
But they're like,
So my understanding, here's my understanding. Here's my conspiracy theory. As Grace would say, has a right-wing conspiracy theory. Us lefties don't have conspiracy theories. January 6th being a coup is a fucking conspiracy theory, you bitch. But
I don't know. I watched it on HBO Max.
Because you watched it on a liberal platform. Great, brilliant,
Wait, the
brilliant.
guy
Thank you for adding that. Thank
the
you.
guy who owns HBO, he's a conservative.
No, but that was made before he took over.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, but here. Well, what was I saying? What were we going on about?
Where are you going with that? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's all. Damn it! You fucked up my whole thing.
So I think you were heading in a direction about conspiracy theories in regards to bring it back, buddy. Bring it back. You can do this.
Conspiracy theories. What did I just say, guys? I know exactly what you mean, Steve, is what she says. Ultimately. Oh, so this will be chalked up as a conspiracy theory. But the concept as why people want, for starters, globalism, but not just globalism, open borders. They want open borders. And so here's what the problem is. Back after World War II, if you were a waiter or you worked in a hardware store or something like that, you made enough money that you could save up and after a couple of years buy a house. Right? Just you. Your wife could stay home with the kids. That's freaking amazing, right? Here's what it is. As immigration flooded in, they want more and more unskilled workers because billionaires want an infinite flow of workers.
Bro,
You know what it is? Once there's a ton of unskilled workers in here, someone who's unskilled is completely replaceable. You mean nothing. As soon as they don't like you, get the fuck out. There's a line out the door that we can get you. Not only that, they can lower the amount of money they pay you. That's why all these billionaires like Elon Musk are like, let's let everybody in. Open borders. We love it.
Well,
of course you fucking do. It's slave labor.
I don't think Elon Musk. That's your Twitter hate coming in. But I do know that is definitely your boy from Amazon, Daddy. What's his name?
Bezos. Yeah, Bezos wants that.
Yo, their entire model, Bex, you still in here? The entire Amazon model is based on turnover. Whereas in traditional corporations, they want to keep their turnover very, very low. They want people in positions, or they used to traditionally.
Yeah, someone whose brains wants their people to raise. In people like Bezos,
Amazon, and in the Amazon model, they are okay with high turnover because
they're like, whatever. No one, we don't have to give anyone a raise. We can just fucking keep giving people basics, whatever. Absolutely. Send them. The more uneducated they are, the more I love them.
Okay, let's get off this crazy shit. So, if you wouldn't mind looking,
wait, why? Why you suddenly get scared, man? You scared?
No, I'm not scared of shit, man. But
he's scared, guys. He's scared.
I'm scared of shit.
Everyone give Papa Steve a hug.
Shut up, you pale ape. I do want to talk about something that we have not mentioned. You have not brought up to me, man, but I think it's historic. There is a Bob Marley movie coming out. Like an official Bob Marley movie.
You sent me the trailer. I didn't even know that was happening.
Would you? Oh, I don't know if we can play it, man. It's got music in it.
I'm scared of like them fucking giving it a shit. But yeah, like One Love, right? It's called One Love.
Yes.
Oh man, I really want to see it.
So it's Bob Marley's played by the gentleman who is playing the antagonist in the Secret Invasion, which, by the way, I'm sorry, man. In this instance, we got it wrong. Our Marvel hate may be making you miss out on something. I've been watching it, and I'm like, oh, this is actually really good. Like, this is actually good. It's actually good. Like, it's really, really clandestine.
So, Steve, what happens if I watch it and I hate it?
Well, I know that that's your bias, right? Because I would say that if you could tell me reasons you hate it that had to do with story crafting or any of those things that didn't sound familiar to like Marvel suck, Marvel bad, like, then okay, you know.
I'm saying, is this Miss Marvel all over again? My sister made me watch Miss Marvel.
It's not Miss Marvel,
and I regret every minute of it.
No, it fixes a lot of things that went wrong with Captain Marvel, right? Which is, I was like, the Skrulls were never some fun-loving, you know, but it really addresses the issues of how this is a secret invasion. Now, is it secret invasion? Is it like from the comics? No, it's not that. But I will tell you this: they're obviously dealing with the concept of a super Skrull. Is it what we grew up with? No. Is it perfect for the MCU? Yeah, I'd say it's about a 9 or 10. What are you doing?
I'm getting rid of. You don't want any more of her, do you?
Oh, well, I love looking at her face.
I'm sick of it. It grosses me out, to be honest. There we go. Look, our faces are way better.
All right. Another great episode, man. Mantis has got to work in the morning. I feel bad for that. We gotta figure this out, man. When I had power over your schedule, one of the things I was like, maybe I can talk him into doing Mondays and Tuesdays. So I'm a night owl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll get up tomorrow, go to work, and be like ready to go. Mantis see me at work, and I'm just like, fuck. That is literally my face when I walk in the door. I'm just like, as soon as I walk in the office, I loosen my tie and I go, what?
I just look at him like, oh great. Steve didn't get a
I put my briefcase down and I'm just like, what? What now? I realized that I'm that guy in the office. I realized that they're like, hey, so crisis, and they put a bunch of shit on my desk, and I'm like, 40% of you are gonna get fired.
This is why I don't understand why you aren't more anti-work.
Me?
Yeah, because like honestly, like no offense, I wouldn't get paid to be you. Like I see him like this poor son of a bitch. All these stupid problems are Steve's problems right now.
Well, so here's the real thing, right? Like, I would be lying to you if I did not tell you that they paid me handsomely for my efforts. They paid me more than what some people would consider a livable wage. I know it's not because I got 3 kids.
Three kids will do it to you.
I get compensated well. We didn't get into the black bourgeoisie.
We could do it next week.
We can do it next week, but I feel like we need real audience participation, right? We're gonna talk, like touch on the topic of the black and brown elite. We're gonna be talking about people like Cortez. We're gonna be talking about people like Jay-Z, the Obamas, right?
Obamas, the power they wield.
Billionaires now, bro. That is insane to me, bro. That's absolutely insane.
Here's what it is. We'll do better research than we did for this week. We'll do like extensive research, and we'll do it next week.
Which means we're never doing this episode because we always come from the weekend into this just barely scraping by.
Touche.
We need interns. We need interns.
If anyone wants to apply for an internship,
unpaid.
We don't pay you, but I pay you in smiles.
So Mantis and I are unfortunately competing again, apparently on Nautilus, both for the 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Slots.
There's no way you can change your time.
Nigga, am I in control of that shit?
No, but did they offer you multiple times? I don't know.
No, they gave me a time.
Okay, yeah. Okay, then that's fine. Here's what I'm saying. It's 4-hour blocks.
Right.
I don't expect people to sit through my whole scene, but show the fuck up. If you guys love me. If you really love me, show up. But I'm saying, jump between us or have 2 devices.
Yeah. Buy another phone.
But everyone has mad devices. I know you got a tablet. I know you got a phone. I know you got a PC. Do it.
Do it. Bex says, poor Mantis.
What do you mean, poor Mantis? What the fuck does that mean?
Lo, you should show Bex like all the love, considering you aired out you and her's business on the internet.
There was no business. There was no business. Bex knows I love her. I love you, Bex. But why are people so unhappy about everything? I saw in the comments complaining that the actors are not real Jamaicans. What's that for?
Oh, that's for the Marley trailer, man. You know what? They're going to be really unhappy about D. So I'm going to call it right now. I don't know if they're going to show this in the movie. So we know that Bob Marley, some of his songs lean very heavily towards Rastafarianism. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say. But apparently before Bob Marley died, he joined the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which is where Selassie. I'm not going to get into that whole fucking thing because I just don't need a bunch of stoners and motherfuckers coming after me. Those people are annoying. But before he died, he professed his faith in Christ and was buried in an Orthodox Christian way. We'll see what's going on. Bob Marley is one of those figures in history, man, that's very controversial for multiple reasons, but not for anything that he did. It's for the way that people perceive him.
I gotta put you on to some antics from my mom. So
she hates Bob Marley. I remember something about this growing up.
No, she doesn't. So here's what it is. When she met Joey, who had dreads at the time, he came to pick me up one day. High school. I'm in high school, and so my mom.
No, he didn't have dreads in high school. This had to be later.
Oh, it must have been later. And so she pulls me over to the side and she says, smoking weed is part of their religion and you're not part of their religion. So you shouldn't smoke weed. And she thought that he was a Rasta. And then another antic of my mom was recently, she just saw a credit card commercial with Kevin Hart.
Oh boy!
And we're watching it. We're at dinner and we're watching. And she goes, "What do you think of this commercial?" I'm like, "It's just Kevin Hart being an idiot." She goes, "It's disgraceful. He's making black people look like fools."
So I just want to give Mantis' mom a shout out, man, because she is okay. So Mantis is obviously of Haitian French descent, right? But his mom has had 3 incarnations in her life: France, Haiti, America, right? So, but she's always been good to me. At least whatever she thinks about me, she's never said it to my face.
Oh, she loves you.
Exactly. Yes. Every time I've ever come there, every day is my wedding day. I've noticed that when I show up.
Yes.
And I love her for that, bro. Just like, Steve, you're getting married or you've been married? And I'm like, yes, I did it. I did it. I did it.
Many years ago. Yeah, she asks all the time. When she asks about you, and I was like, yeah, and she's just like, what about children? And I'm like, they have 3. 3? And she's like surprised to hear that you have 3 kids, and I was just like you're right. Every day is the day before your wedding.
I'll never forget that day when I picked you up to go to the wedding, man, and how happy she was. She was like, just like her looking at us. She's like, so what are you guys going to do today? I'm like, we're going to go pick up his suit, right? And then we're going to go back to the house. I didn't want to say what we were actually going to do. We're going to pick up Mantis' suit. And I was like, these motherfuckers are probably going to get drunk, and I got to careen them. That was actually a really good weekend before heading up to the wedding was good, but
it was one of the best. It was probably the best wedding, actually. Think about it.
Grabbing all you guys, man, like, and just like in New Rochelle, in the area I lived in, sucked. Right, it was horrible, but y'all still had fun. I was like, this fucking sucks. And I want to tell you something about Mario. Did you know that Mario bought me a gift that night of $160 for Air Max sneakers? That was my wedding gift.
Oh, we stopped.
Yeah, we stopped at Foot Locker just really quick. Me, you, and Mario, while we were waiting for Zeus and these other motherfuckers who were late. Jamel and Ray and Evan. And you, me, and Mario walked in. And he was like, hey, what size do you wear? I'm like, I wear this size. And he turned around and gave me a pair of green retro Air Max sneakers that cost like $160. He's like, don't let anyone see it. And like, I'm like, well, nigga, I'm gonna be walking around with this box.
Mario's funny like that.
It was
because I remember after leaving the wedding, he drove me back. And it's funny, we were cutting through Pleasantville, and he was like, "We grew up around here," and I laughed. I was like, "Yeah, right." And then he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "When I was a kid, I tried to stab my mom." And I said, "What?" And he's like, "And I grew up in that boys' home right over there." And I was like, "And there is a boys' home there." I was like,
oh. He did, bro. It's funny. He asked about you all the time when he came by and he brought the boys by. Well, I'll tell you this off here. You two seem to have a very different relationship. He was like, "How's Roy doing?"
I love that dude. I love.
He doesn't ask about anybody else. He's like, "How's Roy?"
What can I say? I'm memorable. But
right,
honestly, what have we discovered today? We have discovered that Grace Randolph is a cunt. What else have we discovered?
Really quick, Keke Palmer. What do you think, man? Do you think that it's wrong that her baby daddy aired her out on social media? You think
he should have kept that personal? He should have kept it personal. He should not have. It's so bitch made to be like, I'm gonna pull you out on social media, and she's famous. Fuck that shit. So I certainly would have had talks with her when she got home, but I would not have made it public.
So Bex has a very deep philosophical point that she made once, and I'm just like, man, that is the realest shit I ever heard someone say. Steve, if all the niggas are doing bitch shit, what the fuck are the bitches supposed to be doing? And I'm like, God damn, that is a fucking hard ass pill. That is a hard pill.
Yo, Bex, did you really say that? That is brilliant.
She said that. She said that.
Oh my God.
On a live.
That's fucking brilliant. Yo, Bex, damn.
Oh, the trailer did look good, D. I think people are mad that Hollywood shops on the Britain GB for their black actors. Yes, they're upset about that.
It's getting to the point where you can't cast someone in Hollywood unless they are exactly ethnically correct. So an actor, like if someone's like, oh, well, he's from West Africa, and someone's like, well, no, my ancestors come from North Africa, somehow people are going to flip out.
But how are you going to cast Bob Marley? Because here's the dirty secret that no one wants to talk about. You do realize that Bob Marley is lighter than most people in Jamaica at that time, or at least in the most pictures that you see. He's half white. The actor they got is half white. You got to deal with that at some point. You have to deal with that. You have to deal with the fact that Bob Marley's father was white. And if you can't reconcile these things, that's your problem. It's not Bob Marley's problem, bro. Right? They picked an actor who they thought was capable of portraying the role. I actually think his accent is on point His cadence is on point. But what they really want to say is, why is he so light? And I'm like, motherfucker, Bob Marley was a light-skinned dude.
Yeah. Well,
Like he was
I've
light.
got horrible news for all of you. All of your black heroes are light-skinned. Mic drop.
No. Mike Brown was not light-skinned.
Okay, but I'm saying like your Bob Marley's, your Malcolm X's, light-skinned. they're most of the time when you look up, you're like, they're light-skinned. What the fuck? Because here's what I'm saying. It's not about.
Wait, hold on. Marcus Garvey wasn't light-skinned. Frederick Douglass.
Obviously, you could go down the line of every single black man.
That was a fallacious statement that you and Bex came up with in your dirty, dark girl, black guy, light guy.
Kidding me? I'm not dark enough for Bex. Yeah.
No, Bex don't fuck with. Oh wait, don't make this about Bex's dating preferences.
you made it about Bex.
Pillow talk and hear about Bex's dating preferences. But
This has been a great episode.
We know. We saw the messages.
You didn't see shit, motherfucker. Anyway, it is time to go to bed. Salute to the beige heroes.
The translucent brigade, the guppy men.
Yes, the guppy men.
Shout out to all my brown warriors, man. While these darkies and these lighties fight it out, we'll be here sipping our tea, ready to take over.
Fuck yeah.
Not you. You're not invited to the brown party.
Oh, fuck you, darky. Why did you watch they take down this video?
Salute to the beige heroes. D's laughing because they saw the messages. Bex is crying because she knows they saw the message. I was like, whoa, nigga, take that shit off the screen.
Yeah, she didn't send me anything crazy. Yo. You guys are all playing. You guys are playing.
No, you sent her something crazy. That's what they're laughing at, man.
What did I say? I guess I want to find out when we get off this thing. But yo, Steve, you got anything to
folks, check us out on Autolist, man. We'll be doing our thing, radio premieres. Obviously, Mantis is doing his thing on Autolist.
I'm already doing my show. It's freaking amazing. 4 p.m. at Hot 95. So when you go to Autolist, there's all these stations. Go to Hot 95. It's the pink one.
Right.
I'm trying to get that logo changed. But however, I'm doing amazing fucking things.
He's not secure in his masculinity. He can't handle it.
I'm fucking so secure.
Why'd you grab the black phallic in front of you?
Because I'll say I will suck a dick and it'll be the most heterosexual dick sucking ever done by a man. But I'm saying you guys need to tune in. I need you here. I need my lovers and my crew here. Because I miss you guys. I actually miss you guys. Finally, Lainey comments. She says, "This is great."
Yo, make sure you check out Pillow Talk every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. on Clubhouse and otherwise, right? So get ready for the video interviews, obviously. Conversations that matter, only on the Hold Up TV proper on YouTube. And, of course, myself, Steve, real name, no gimmicks, on Spin 95, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Not competing, but contributing to my friend who got me the job over on Autolist on Spin 95. Always rocking out together as fanboys. As soon as Mantis leaves, those motherfuckers won't even get my 2 weeks. I promise you. They're like, Steve, are you coming to work today? Yeah. I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm not.
Steve, right now you think you hate it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. You don't realize
I know I'm going to love it. I'm just keeping a buck. I'm keeping the buck. When you left Spoon, I got a message from someone in Spoon. They were like, hey, so, and I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm out. I'm
out. D says you guys are always make my Mondays so much better. Thank you, yo. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for stopping.
What's going on? What's going on with men supporting men? We got an episode coming up, or no?
You know, to be honest,
never mind. Don't answer the question. Yeah. Make sure you come to Pillow Talk every Wednesday night.
Pillow Talk. Actually, so a new stream is happening from the Mantis. On Sunday nights, it's looking like right now it's Sunday nights. It might change. And that's called Hot After Dark.
Oh shit.
And so I'm going to be interviewing the other different DJs from Hot 95 about their shows.
Wait, so is this going to be on Autolist or is it going to be on YouTube?
So here's what it is. It's going to be on YouTube and Twitch.
Okay.
And maybe Kick if we're lucky. Who knows if we can ever figure that out. And then ultimately, I'm going to take an edited version and make it a podcast, which I'll put on Autolist.
Okay. Sounds like some hot shit. Sounds like some. Wait, so is it going to be live?
There's going to be live, yeah. When it's YouTube and Twitch, it's going to be live on Sundays. And then a couple days later, it'll be on Autolist for those who don't know, who aren't hip. But you guys are the hip ones. You're my people.
Do we have a time?
We don't have one yet.
Okay. Don't fuck with the 10 p.m. slot. Don't fuck with the 10 p.m. slot. It's my shit.
So 10 before. Oh, it'll be before 10 p.m.
I'll kill you. I'll cut you. We'll cut you.
All right. I mean, you're the one who took my radio spot.
I didn't take anything. You got me the job. This is the slot they gave me. It's slavery.
It's all slavery.
You're in the house.
Day job is slavery.
See, right now you're in the house eating biscuits, and I'm out in the field.
You're not in any fucking field. You're my boss. How the fuck are you in the field?
I'm Nautilus. You're in the house. I'm out eating. You're eating biscuits. I'm out. All right, this has gotten crazy.
This has gotten totally crazy. Basically, we can all admit Grace Randolph is a cunt. So it's time to end this.
I'm trying to figure out why we've never seen the bottom half of that woman.
You really want me to answer that, or like?
Not you, motherfucker. I'm saying I think it's weird when you don't see the bottom half of a person.
Because it's a snake down there. She's got a snake tail down.
She's Medusa.
Pretty much.
Good night, Joe.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. Remember to spay and neuter your cats.
What the fuck?
An apple a day keeps the doctor away. And, of course, never go to a second location with a hippie. Until next time, ciao.
Wait. And always remember, at 2 a.m, never go get a Subway sandwich on the south side of Chicago because there will always be a Trump supporter.
There will always be MAGA people who is like, this is MAGA country in the south side of Chicago. We love you all. Good night.